everyone. Welcome to day 10 of our 21-day journey together. My name is Linda Taylor. I'm coming to you from Northern New Jersey. And want to remind you, if you haven't got your foot soak set up, please go and do that right now. We're going to be doing that very shortly. If you're new and perhaps missed some classes, just want to remind you that you can always catch up online on YouTube by watching the recordings. You can get one-on-one help after class. We offer breakout rooms, so if you can stay, that's a great way to catch up. We're also offering mentors. And if you look in the chat, you'll be able to see a form where you can request a mentor. We're going to be assigning those this week. So everyone who's already requested one, be patient. You'll be hearing this week. And of course, if you missed classes, don't worry, but please do start coming regularly. That would be great. Today, we're going to focus on our what we call the void. And the topic is, I am my own teacher. Yesterday, if you missed it, we talked about clearing the left side with a candle. And there was a short demo of that, which you can watch the recording for again, though, if you want to understand more about the candle and actually try doing it, you can go in a breakout room at the end. So today we'll have 2 guided meditations. We'll have a wonderful video of Shri Mataji. We'll have some live music, which I'm sure you're really going to enjoy. Just want to remind you again that Sahaja Yoga is always free. And I wanted to mention as well, some of you have been asking, after this intensive 21 days, we hope you can make it to the end, but then we're not going to leave you hanging. We're going to keep going. So don't worry, we'll keep supporting you as long as you will have us. So please stay tuned and we'll give you the details shortly about that. We'll take a little break and then, but we'll still be supporting you in between and then we'll come back. So tonight, we have some great presenters. I'd like to welcome them now. So we have Sudeep. Sudeep, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Sudeep Hegde, and I live in Clemson, South Carolina, in the United States.
Tell us just, what do you do for a living?
Yes, so I am an assistant professor of industrial engineering at Clemson University here, and I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga for many years.
Okay, thank you. We all do this as volunteers. Just wanted to make sure everybody's clear about that. Andrei?
Hello, we might have already been acquainted with many of you. I'm Andrei Harbour, and we live in Regina in the middle of Canada, middle, east, west. And we've been practicing Sahaja Yoga for many years as well. I am a baby ICU doctor, otherwise known as a neonatologist, some sort of a subspecies of a pediatrician, basically. That's.
Thank you. And now we have, coming from Atlanta, go ahead, Adrija Ahana.
Hello, I'm Adrija. My name's Ahana. We're sisters. We're from Atlanta. I'm doing my master's here at Georgia Tech.
And I'm an undergrad student at Georgia State University.
And we've both been practicing Sahaja Yoga meditation since childhood.
Welcome, everyone. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with Sudeep leading meditation and telling us about this chakra, the void.
All right. Thank you, Linda. So as you just mentioned, the focus of today's meditation is on a region of our subtle system known as the void. In Sanskrit, it's known by a term called as Bhavasagara, which translates into the ocean of illusion. So this region is basically centered around the 3rd energy center. It's a circular region that is basically around the stomach and the abdomen. And, it is in this region, or it represents the part of our evolution where we establish our own self-mastery, where we become our own masters. So if you recall, when we did the self-realization exercise very recently for many of you, one of the steps in that process was to keep the right hand on the left side of the stomach and say, I am my own master. So the significance of that step is basically to address this void region on the left side and affirm that state to ourselves. And we become our own masters when we are able to tap into this knowledge, this wisdom that is already within us, that is innate within us. So this is, of course, different from worldly, superficial knowledge and the information that's all around us. This is the information, knowledge, and wisdom that we have within us as just as a product of our own evolution. And we just have to tap into it. It's already there in us. In fact, the ascent of that energy, the Kundalini, along the chakras and through this region, awakens this information, this knowledge within us. We become more aware of ourselves, more aware of our state, whether we are balanced or out of balance. Also, we become more innately virtuous, righteous. We develop qualities of patience, leadership, being decisive, being discriminate, because there is an innate sense of which way to go, what is good for me, what is not. So that inner moral compass is it becomes developed in us with the development of the void. So just like all the chakras and the plexuses are represented on different parts of the hand and fingertips and around the palm, this region, the void, is represented as a circle around the center of the palm. So as you can see in the diagram there, the green ring around the palm, that is where we feel the void. So just like with any other chakras or parts of the subtle system, if there is an imbalance or there is some sort of a blockage in that part, we might feel that as some sort of a tingling sensation or heat or numbness or some resistance to the flow of that cool breeze in that region. And that, if you feel it, that's an indication that that chakra or that part of the system needs to be addressed. And there are ways to, of course, address it, ways to bring ourselves back into balance. And one of the most effective ways to clear the void and keep it nourished and establish our mastery principle, a guru principle, is the practice of foot soak, which I believe you all have been introduced to. So we will be starting with the foot soak today, because the element of water is closely associated with this void region. So with the foot soak, we will make use of the water and the salt to clear the void and go into a deeper state of meditation. So let's get ready for the foot soak. So hopefully you all have the tub of water and salt before you, and some fresh water on the side to rinse off after we finish the foot soak. Now, as always, we will begin the meditation by raising the energy, the Kundalini, 3 times, right from the bottom all the way up over our heads, and then we'll balance the 2 sides 7 times. So if you're doing this for the first time, the way we do this balancing is the left hand just moves up like this, from just below the abdomen in front, all the way up. And as you do that, the right hand wraps around it like this. So this represents bringing the energy up along the central channel, and we tie a knot over the head like this to establish that energy over the 7th center. So we'll do this 3 times. The second time we will tie 2 knots. And the third time we'll tie 3 knots. And then we will balance each of the 7 chakras by bringing the energy of the left to the right and the right to the left. So we'll start by bringing the right hand near the left hip. Raise your hand, arch it over your head, and bring it down near the right hip, and then retrace that path from the right back to the left. So this pair of arches was for the first center. We will do this 6 more times, balancing each of the chakras, the centers, one by one. You can use nice, slow flowing hand motions because the energy is very fluid. This is not just a mechanical ritual. What is happening is our attention is moving as our hands are moving and guiding the energy which responds to the movement. So we can bring the right hand just a couple of inches over the head to see how we're feeling right now before we start. See if you're able to feel a subtle flow, cool flow, maybe a little bit warm. If you're not feeling, that's fine too. You can check with the other hand as well. All right, so what should have happened now is there is a flow, and which is you may be feeling it over your head and also through your hands. So we're going to direct that energy through the hands into the water and the salt. So we'll make clockwise rotatory motions like this with the hand, directing the energy towards the water. So by doing this, we are charging this water and salt with that subtle energy so that it becomes a better instrument for our cleansing. All right, now we can put both our feet into the water. We can sit with our back straight. Relax. Hands on our lap, palms facing upward. Now we will start by first balancing ourselves. We do this by clearing out the 2 energy channels, the left and the right channel. So we'll place the right hand towards the earth. So you can just point your right hand towards the earth by your side. And let's appeal to Mother Earth, which is one of the 5 elements, to absorb any imbalances, any undue influences from our subconscious, which is on the left channel, the left energy channel. Let all the forces from the past, from my past, that distract my attention from the present be absorbed into the earth. Let me be free of any clinging to the past, be it through any habits, conditionings, memories, emotions, desires. I simply surrender these to the power of Mother Earth. So that only that pure desire to realize the self, to be the spirit, is awakened in me. and that I am able to feel that joy of being that free, pure spirit. Now, you may start to feel some difference, some movement, some flow on your left hand as this process happens, which would be an indication that there is something clearing out. There is a balancing that is happening. We can bring the right hand back on our lap. And now we will clear the right energy channel by raising the left hand towards the sky. So we just bend our arm at the elbow, point the fingers upward. The right hand rests on the lap, palm facing open. And here we ask the air and the ether elements to absorb any excess heat that is generated on my right energy channel because of all the thinking, all the mental activity, all the worrying about the future. All the gross attention, all our identification with the mundane. So here we let go of the need to worry, the need to be identified with our actions. We become free, like a child. It helps to just tell ourselves, I am not this ego. I am not the doer. Let my attention be on the spirit. Let it be subtle. Again, hopefully, you will be feeling an increased coolness or flow on the right hand as this happens. If you don't worry about it. It will happen eventually. Perhaps during the course of this meditation today. So bring the left hand down. Let's now bring our attention on the void. So we can place the right hand just under the diaphragm. near the stomach. We can bring the right hand to the left side of the stomach and say that I am my own master. I am my own teacher. I am my own guru. Please give me, we can ask that subtle energy within us. Mother, please give me the confidence to tap into my own knowledge, which is within me. We confidently affirm, I am my own master. You can bring the right hand back on our lap. Put the left hand on the right side of this void region. And here we can say, please give me the humility and the grace to act upon my wisdom, to act upon my knowledge. Let my actions, my choices reflect that discrimination. Let they be guided by that my own inner compass, moral compass. Not by the ego or the distractions of the world, but by my wisdom. You can bring the left hand back and place the right hand in the middle of the stomach. And we can say, please give me balance. Let me be peaceful. You can once again bring the right hand slightly above. near the diaphragm. And now move it in a clockwise direction. So from the top to the left, to the bottom, to the right, this entire region, the void. Let's keep our attention at the top of our head. And we can say, let my Guru principle be fully established. Let it be complete. Take me beyond this ocean of illusion into reality, into the realm of the spirit, the realm of the eternal. And bring our hand back on our lap and stay in this state of silence. Let's try to be in a state of thoughtless awareness. Simply witnessing our state without reacting to any thought. By letting go, we are allowing the Kundalini to do its work upon us, to clear our chakras, and to balance us, and taking our attention higher. Into the seventh center and beyond. So we can conclude the foot soak segment of this meditation by taking each foot out, rinsing off. Just make sure you don't put your feet back in the water after you rinse them off. And you can set the tub aside and set the foot soak tub by the side and return to this meditative state. If you have a towel, you can dry your feet. So let's enjoy this state of meditation immediately after the foot soak. And see how we feel after our chakras, our energy channels, the void are relaxed, refreshed. You can bring the right hand again over the head to see how we're feeling. Try to keep your attention in that space between your head and your hand. You can do the same with the other hand. Bring your hand down. So as we stay in this state, we will listen to a talk by Shri Mataji, where she talks about the qualities of the void, and how it is important to go inward and realize this wisdom within. So let's try to keep our attention here as we listen to the talk.
So one must know that there must be something more we have to know. I would put it this way, that in the West, whatever knowledge we have had about science or about other things is like the knowledge of the tree which is outside. Now whatever Dr. Warren has told you is the knowledge of the roots. Now supposing if the East has learnt this knowledge from you, has tried to understand this knowledge of science, of course which is not very fruitful also, but doesn't matter. They have tried to learn this knowledge of science. Why not we try to learn the knowledge of the roots? The roots of the tree of life. Why should we not try to find out what are the roots which are to be nourished, which were neglected, and that's why we have problems. These are the roots within us, which are being described. And when these roots are understood, then only we will see that something more has to happen, that we have to feel those roots. We don't feel them on our central nervous system. We have no sensitivity at all within us. For example, now supposing a person is getting mad, he is not conscious of it, that he is getting mad. Or if he develops some disease, he doesn't become conscious of it till he gets some pain. But actually these centers are the subtle energy centers which gave energy to the plexuses and look after us very well. But how to enlighten these centers? That was the big problem. How to enlighten these centers so that we start feeling our roots. For that, God Almighty, who is our Father, who is very kind and gentle, in His all care has made this beautiful thing within us. And all of them are like the milestones of our evolution. These centers are to be enlightened. And when they are to be enlightened, something has to be done. For that, in the triangular bone here is placed the energy called the Kundalini. It's a Sanskrit word meaning the coils. It is in 3.5 coils for a particular mathematical reason. A mathematician can understand 3.5 is very important coefficient. 3.5 coils, it is placed there. And this has to be awakened like a primule in a seed to enlighten all these 6 centers and ultimately enter through this center, which is the 6th one in this order, because the 7th one lies down below the Kundalini. This is the important thing that has to happen to us to become the spirit that Christ has told us, that we have to become the spirit, that we are to be born again. It is again certifying ourselves that we are born again. You do not become. Let us accept one thing. We are not going to live with myths and dishonesty. If we are going to be honest with us, with ourselves, it is beneficial to us. It is benevolent for us to be honest with ourselves and to realize that by giving ourselves certificates, we do not become anything. It's only a mental projection. Whether I call myself a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu makes no difference whatsoever. Whatever dress I wear or howsoever I comb my hair makes no difference to me at all. In all honesty, we have to perceive and see. To reach that absolute stage, this Kundalini has to rise. There's no other way out. And this is what is the Holy Ghost within us. This is the Holy Ghost. Is the reflection of the Holy Ghost, and Holy Ghost is the energy of God, which is love, which is His desire. His desire is the Holy Ghost and is reflected within us as the Kundalini. So the desire of God is that you should become the citizen of His kingdom, that you should enter into His kingdom and enjoy all the fruits of His blessings, understandingly, knowingly, on your central nervous system. This is His pure desire, and if that pure desire within us rises, then we see that all other desires were useless. And they are not pure either, because we have some desires. Say, for example, we want to have a car, all right, have a car. They want to have a house, have a house. We're never satisfied. In general, it is said that wants are not satiable, because they are not wants, they are artificial wants. The real want, the real desire is this one, this energy of pure desire that says you have to unite with the divine, with the all-pervading power of God. That is our pure desire. And unless and until that desire is completed, you may do any kind of things, you may go to all kinds of things, try anything, you can never achieve it. Now, this is a living process, because God is a living being. He is not empty words. He is not just something like a dead book. He is not. He is a living God. He is a living energy. And this is a living process. So it has to be spontaneous. It has to be spontaneous if it is living. For example, there's a seed and you want to sprout it. Can you order it? Can you mentally say, all right, it has now sprouted? Can you say that, all right, I'll read these mantras to you or Bible to you or do this? Will it rise? No, it won't. It's a living process. You have to place it in the Mother Earth. Spontaneously it will rise. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to imagine anything. It will rise. And that's what it is, that this Kundalini has to be awakened. In the same manner, in the living process. Now, many people are surprised that I don't charge any money. How can you charge money for love, first of all? And this love, which is so spontaneous, I don't do anything, I'm just standing before you. I'm doing nothing at all. But if that love is, say, flowing all over, and if you get this awakening because of my presence, I'm doing nothing, it's your own. Whatever is your own, this Kundalini is your own, your desire is your own, and if you achieve your realization, it's your own. What is there to charge for? To be honest, I don't do anything. There's no obligation at all. It's just a catalyst. Then you become the catalyst, then the third person becomes the catalyst. Everybody can become the catalyst, but one has to be honest and truthful. Otherwise, you cannot find truth. If you are living with myths, how can you find the truth? Now the modern Sahaja Yoga, what I call it, whatever the way I'm trying, is a little different that people could have used before. Like they first wanted to clear chakras after chakras, everything, and then go through all kinds of penances and all that and rise the Kundalini. Because people needed this cleansing. Now what I thought was the easiest method is somehow or other to raise the Kundalini. Somehow. Make it even a little glimpse of the light into people. Let the light coming in the lamp. Let the lamp be seen by the people themselves. When the Kundalini rises, you see, there's a flickering, say, of the light. You can see yourself what's wrong with you, which chakra is catching, where is the problem. And then it's very easy to correct.
Let us continue to keep our attention on the top of our head and just sit in meditation. So, as we know, in this meditation, we are trying to connect with our spirit through the awakening of this motherly energy within us. She's present within all of us, within nature, and in everything present all around us. So we would like to present a song to you today, and it is in Hindi, but the lyrics translate to, "Oh Mother, your power reflects in the sun, the stars, the moon, and in everything all around us, in this whole creation that comes from you. Mother, please guide us through this world of illusions, through the ocean of illusions, as we learned is the void, and allow us to be firm in our seeking for the truth. सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही सृष्टि है माँ। सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही सृष्टि है माँ। तेरी रचना हर मानव को सहजी बना दो आदिमाँ। सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही सृष्टि है माँ। कलियुग की माया मोह से रक्षा हमारी करना माँ। कलियुग की माया मोह से रक्षा हमारी करना माँ। बिनती तुमसे है माँ हमारी, चरणों में अपनी रखना, चरणों में अपनी रखना, चरणों में अपनी रखना। सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही सृष्टि है माँ। सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही सृष्टि है माँ। अगर भटक जाए जो कभी भी राह दिखाना हमको माँ। अगर भटक जाए जो कभी भी राह दिखाना हमको माँ। हम में भर दो प्रेम की शक्ति, रहना हमारे दिल में माँ, रहना हमारे दिल में माँ, रहना हमारे दिल में माँ। सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही
Sahaja Yoga बढ़ाए माँ आशीर्वाद करो हम सबको सहज योग बढ़ाए माँ सारी दुनिया सहजी बनकर आए तुम्हारी शरण में माँ आए तुम्हारी शरण में माँ आए तुम्हारी शरण में माँ सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही सृष्टि है माँ सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही सृष्टि है माँ तेरी ही रचना हर मानव को सहजी बना दो आदि माँ सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही सृष्टि है माँ सूरज चाँद सितारे सब तेरी ही सृष्टि है माँ
Let's keep our hand on somewhere a little above the belly button. And the right hand, with the left hand nicely open on our lap. And let's feel the gratitude and the joy that we have now, the light. To guide ourselves. That gratitude is, of course, for Shri Mataji, because without her, we wouldn't be here. And then for all of us, because only together we can move ahead. This is a collective happening. And collectively we teach each other. Silently mostly, and sometimes with words. and we correct and balance each other. And gratitude to all the great masters that have built the path through evolution. And we will ask Mother, please give us perfect balance. First and foremost, through the power of innocence and wisdom. Let that innocence and wisdom be the balancing point at all times. And let us meditate on some of the great teachings. First from Lao Tse. All the world recognize the beautiful as the beautiful, but herein also lies the ugliness. All recognize the good as good, but herein also lies the evil. Being and non-being produce each other. Difficulty and ease bring about each other. Long and short delimit each other. High and low rest on each other. Sound and voice harmonize each other. Front and back follow each other. Therefore, the sage abides in the condition of unattached action and carries out the wordless teaching. The myriad things are made, yet not separated. Therefore, the sage produces without possessing, acts without expectation, and accomplishes without abiding in the accomplishments. And it is precisely because he does not abide in them that they never leave him. And then a few words from Confucius. Even when just walking in the company of two other men, I am bound to be able to learn from them. The good points of the one I copy, and the bad points of the other one I correct in myself. Heaven is the author of the virtue that is in me. What can anyone do to me? Then we will close with the words of Shri Mataji. The wisdom or the essence of Guru Tattva is balance. Like when you maintain a plant, if you do not give it water, it will die. If you give it too much water, it will die. So the wisdom lies in understanding how much water should be given to the plant so that it comes up at its best. Now, this wisdom has to be achieved through your vibratory awareness. You are placed under the most fortunate circumstances that you are realized souls before your Guru Tattva is fully established. Tattva means principle. You have all the powers that you can aspire without having the establishment of the Guru principle. And especially, you are under the complete blanket of the clouds of your mother's love. But in no way mother's love is going to allow you to destroy your Guru principle. As I told you, that Guru principle is a very sensitive thing. And it is destroyed if you yourself do not try to maintain it. First of all, the destruction starts from the very source of our being. I mean to say that our being is created by 5 elements, and the 5 elements have a capacity all the time to get destroyed. Any one of these elements, if they are not looked after, they will get destroyed. That is the built-in capacity of the elements of the matter, as you can say. So to maintain them is important. We will remain in silence for a few minutes and absorb the vibrations.
Very good. So let's raise our Kundalini together. Again, slowly. Good. And take a bandha.
Thank you all. I hope you're all feeling quiet inside. And feel this silence that together we can achieve. So let's hear a few announcements to know that tomorrow we're going to focus on our very first energy center, the Muladhara. And we're going to hear about its subtle qualities and clear our Muladhara chakra, the quality of childlike innocence. We strongly encourage you to request a mentor. Really, a mentor is a friend, a guide, someone who can hold your hand along the way. So please take advantage of this. We also invite you to our WhatsApp group if you're not already there. We have some inspiring messages coming to you there. And then for the recordings and handouts, there's a handout today on the void. So that will help you understand more about it and sort of consolidate what you heard today. So please take a look at that handout to understand the void chakra. Today, we invite you to the breakout rooms. You can send a chat message to the breakout room help person. And there, just like we did yesterday, you'll have a chance to meet with an experienced Sahaja Yoga teacher to do whatever you prefer in terms of working on your subtle system, clearing your chakras, asking a question, anything at all. So please take advantage of this opportunity. If you just like to ask a question, you can type that to the Zoom chat questions person who's waiting to take your questions also. So, but if you'd like to stay, we are going to bring the presenters and musicians back on. And so let's do that now. I'll invite Andrei, Sudeep, Adrija, and Ahana. Welcome back, everybody. All right. So today we're going to talk about two different topics, really both related to the void, actually. And the first question I'd like to pose to all of you each in a succession is, have you experienced the quality of being your own teacher in your life? And please give us an example of that. So let me first ask Sudeep.
So I guess there have been many instances in life in general, but one that is the most fresh in my memory is my most recent self-disciplining phase. So I've been wanting to wake up early in the morning and meditate, because I know that getting up at 4:35 and meditating is always very special. But the longest I've been able to keep up that practice is for 3 days before now. So because I'm not really an early riser usually, but with a lot of motivation and support from my wife and others, I think I've been able to keep up this routine for the last 3 weeks, and it's been great. So never done it before in my life. So I wanted to share that. And it's great. I highly recommend it. So.
Beautiful. All right, Andrei.
Well, I think I've, especially more in the beginning, the first form that came to me, and probably to many of us, was to gently steer away from things which weren't helpful. Of many kinds, all sorts of habits, some books that seemed like they were kind of cool before Sahaja Yoga, and after that, without anybody saying anything, never ever looked at them again, ever, and many things like that, and eventually understood exactly why, and felt vibrations and so on. But initially, there is this literally something that it's the compass, as Sudeep said, that just points this way, and you're going this way, you're never going that way anymore, and the staying away from the iceberg, getting the Titanic the other way, it's really the first thing that you experience, not banging against the icebergs anymore. So that was, I still remember, after some years, I was thinking, oh my God, there's so many holes to fall into, and somehow you just walk in between them. You don't walk in a hole anymore. It's really incredible.
Fantastic. All right. So, Adrija.
So I guess our experience is a little bit different compared to many of you, whereas like you guys have been introduced to Sahaj, and we have been doing it since we were young. So we don't really remember life before Sahaj. So
we don't have one.
Yeah, I guess there have been cases, at least for me, a big example for me was that as I was growing up, there was a phase where I was like, I've been doing it because my parents tell me to, but what is this yoga? Like, what is it? Am I really benefiting from it? So there was a phase where I was like, I'm going to start meditating. I'm just going to, use that extra 10 minutes to, watch TV, sleep, stuff like that. And the fun part of this is that there's no one that needs to tell you to do something. It's that inner voice that guides you, right? Absolutely. So within a few days, I was like, wait, this isn't right. Yeah, it's not sustainable for me. And my inner voice has guided me back. And I just haven't looked back since. So
same in college. Like sometimes with this stress of studies and everything, you're like, do I really need to do a foot soak? I'll just go sleep. But it just was getting worse and worse until I was like, you know what? Forget about it. Take out 15 minutes, do your foot soak. And once I stopped and did it again, I was like, oh, I understand the benefits so much more now. So yeah, definitely, like being your own master always guides you.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. Any other comments on that topic?
You haven't offered anything, Linda.
Oh, me? Huh. So actually, for me, when I was new in Sahaja Yoga, the most profound thing I felt was that I wasn't confused anymore. Before Sahaja Yoga, I felt a lot of ambivalence about things, like, do I do this or that in my life? And how can I know? And a lot of confusion. And even this word ambivalence was very popular, oh, I'm ambivalent about this. And that was like a good way to be. But I didn't feel comfortable being ambivalent at all. So for me, when I started practicing, just automatically, and I could feel it in my gut, which is our void, I felt this inner knowing that, oh my goodness, I know what to do, like not only in big decisions in my life, but even in the grocery store, like which cereal to buy, it became like, boom, decide. So that was such a relief to me, and I'm very grateful. Okay, the next topic I'd like to bring is about having a mentor. So we've been encouraging everyone to get a mentor, but I thought I would ask you all that what was your experience when you were new in Sahaja Yoga or along the way about having a mentor, and how did that help you in your journey? So let's go back to Sudeep.
Oh, yes. I shortly after I got my self-realization, which was sort of an answer to several years of seeking consciously, I came across somebody who was doing Sahaja Yoga pretty much his whole life. So I moved to the city of Buffalo in 2008 to I came there for higher studies. And it was by coincidence, you could say, that this person came there from Italy around the same time. There was nobody else in that city before then, and we met each other, and I started meditating with him, and I distinctly felt the cool breeze over my head, and we would meet every weekend, and it became such a natural, beautiful journey. I would very happily let go of graduate student parties and other things going on that were otherwise fun, and just happily go and spend time with him, meditate, have lunch or dinner, and then come back. And it was a beautiful. Every meeting gave me a chance to ask questions that were coming up as I was meditating and going through this journey, and getting them answered in one way or another. And then through him also, of course, eventually getting introduced to other Sahaja Yogis. And then it sort of expanded from there on. But having someone like that helped me stay anchored, it was more than having just a mentor. It was also like having a buddy, having a partner to go on this journey with you. So that was very helpful. And along the way, of course, I met other mentors then, and each one played a very significant role in my journey. So
Wonderful. I know who that person is, and I remember at that time when you were new, and I was thinking also that what a lucky guy you are to have him there for you. All right. Let's ask Ahana first today on this one.
Yeah, so I would say my biggest mentor would have to be my dad, because anything like from a young age, like my dad was like, this Sahaja Yoga is the one thing that was very important to him, and so that's how he put the value into us, that this is something you have to do it, even though we had the phases where we're like, should we, but like having that set routine really helped us to do meditation, be connected with mother. And so I would say like having my dad by my side was.
Yeah, he never asked us about our grades or anything. He didn't know what grade we're in, but he'd be like, did you meditate today? Did you and so that was a constant reminder.
Absolutely.
For us. So yeah.
Wow. Gotta say, you girls are very lucky to have been born into Sahaja Yoga and to have a great dad. Wonderful.
Yep.
Okay, Andrei. Andrei?
Well, it was interesting that somehow we had a journey where we were either one little drop within many in the very beginning in Romania, and otherwise we were always with few. And few who were kind of close to the same points and just gently strolling forward. And it was, my experience a lot had to do with exactly how Master Confucius describes it. Just learn something from everybody that's walking with you. And obviously background and education and your profession and all of that count a little bit. That's not the most common angle for a lot of people, but I was lucky enough that we were kind of somewhat prepared to do that. Obviously the divine must be giving everybody what they can handle, right? So I have this long list always in my heart of things that were so important. One line that somebody said, or either in a conversation or in a meditation or in a story, and that line was a giant step to go another little bit on it, right? So, and a lot of those lines were said by people who were, on the face of it, way junior. This is to illustrate the fact that who is the teacher, who is the learner? I am so aware of this, that by my own experience, not from a book.
Yes, it's not about how long you've been practicing Sahaja Yoga either. It's also about how deep you've become, right? And we can, yes. I might just share. I know you're going to ask me, so I might as well just say that last year we had this 21-day course. We started it, and I was fortunate to mentor someone throughout the year, and I can't tell you how grateful I was for that opportunity, because every single time we met, I mean, I do know, and she always was thanking me for how I was guiding her, but honestly, I always learned something from her also, always. And it made me go deeper and search in my heart for answers at times. It also, I think, for all of us who are being mentors, we value that relationship so much because it's an opportunity for us to really grow with you and to really remind ourselves that we are Sahaja Yogis. We do practice Sahaja Yoga, and to be that for you. So we hope you will give us that opportunity to ask for a mentor and develop this beautiful relationship with someone who's been practicing for some time. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And you can have more than one mentor, actually. I think also, like Andrei, along the way, I tried to, and this I'm sure you all are seeing with all the different presenters in the course, everyone has some beautiful ways that they express themselves and how they are giving off that, how their spirit has been touched by Sahaja Yoga and how they've grown. So I think we truly can learn from each other. So, but having one mentor or one or two or three, very special. So, any other comments you'd like to make? Adrija, it seemed like you might want to say something more. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I really do agree with the fact that, like, being able to learn from someone with some experience definitely helps. At the end of the day, the only mentor we should have in our heart is, coming from Shri Mataji, we know that we have learned everything from her, but just being able to learn from people, that have more experience definitely helps get some of those messages that maybe we're not able to grasp in our own meditation. So definitely.
All right. So I think we're going to end it here. And I don't know if it hasn't come in the chat, but I guess it has. So if you would like to request a mentor, you can see that link in the chat. There's a form. And this week we're matching those of you who requested to a Sahaja Yoga teacher. So please do request it. And thank you all for joining and persevering in this course. We're so thrilled to see your progress. We can see it in your questions. We can hear in the breakout rooms how you're really taking to it, and that is so rewarding to all of us. So we'll put on some music. You can meditate a little longer. There's still people available. If you would still like to go into a breakout room, you could still request that. So don't be shy. If you still want to do that, just send a message to the breakout room help, and they will put you in a breakout room even now. All right. So have a great rest of the evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.